Good morning, everybody. We're at Last Hurrah Garage this morning, our little hobby cubby hole, and I've just taken ownership of a '39 Ford Deluxe Coupe, and it's a car that I've lusted for a long time. Thought I'd never get one, but I had a little tragic deal here a couple months ago where my prize Austin Healey got totaled, and that filled up the cookie jar in order to buy this. I bought it from a guy in Aledo, Illinois, a fellow named Jerry Hagens, and he had done a great job of taking it to the next level, and I'm playing with it now, doing the few things that'll make it personal to me. But it's always been known as the shine car. They use these in North Carolina and the mountains in Georgia, and to haul moonshine, and the trunk would haul 75 gallons, and they would soup up the flatheads and haul down those mountain roads and take their moonshine to market. So it's distinctly different than a 40. It doesn't have the vent windows in it, which I like, and being a deluxe, it's got very simple body lines and very simple trim to it. It's got a chassis engineering front end underneath it, chassis engineering rear, and the drivetrain we have in it is a 350 Chevrolet, and it's actually been trimmed out to look similar to a Cadillac, and it's got air, power steering, power brakes. It's got everything I wanted for a cruiser car that you could jump in it at any time, rain or shine, and head out on the highway. It really travels well. It's soft, doesn't have any bumps to it. The chassis engineering components added to the frame certainly help that. Chevrolet is just a simple 350 soft motor, 350 transmission automatic, and 8-inch Ford, disc brakes in the front, drums in the rear. Basically just a super simple car, and that's really been a dream of mine for a long time. And unfortunately I didn't want to give up the Healey, but when the Healey got totaled, it made this achievable because I could put some money in the cookie jar. I've had it for about 3 months now and got probably about 3,000 miles on it, and I drive it every day. It's just part of the deal. After I finished the 32, I wanted something soft that the wife and I could get in and just go traveling, and that's what we've got here. The 32 is a hot rod, and it was built as a hot rod. And to be a hot rod, it's about every 150 miles you got to get out and stretch your legs, and it's has a little noise to it, whereas the 39 is pretty quiet. The whole principle of this and the feature of it was the Arden motor, and that makes it What did he say?
He said, what are you doing, having a car show here?
Yeah.
Yeah, walk us through some more features.
Huh?
Walk us through some more features of the 39.
Yeah, let me, yeah. Why don't you shoot the motor, and I'm going to talk about the motor, albeit it's just a stock Chevrolet, but it's been trimmed with Cadillac valve covers, and everybody thinks it's a Cadillac. Well, it isn't. It's a 350, and it's got a Cadillac air cleaner on it, which kind of is certainly deceiving because it is not a Cadillac. We've got aluminum radiator, we got air conditioning, we've got, of course, common alternator. Simple. The wiring is all exposed. You can get to it if you have to, and it's not something that is a Riddler show car kind of a thing, but it's done extremely well. The detail is very, very good.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how the evaporators
Yeah.
nicely put in there. Oh yeah. And you're saying the Deluxe has to do with the grill?
Yeah, the Deluxe, the difference between the Deluxe and the Standard is that the Standard actually has a piece of the grill in the hood, and it has a wider mouth down here at the bottom. The the Deluxe has this singular bar grill, and it's all very smooth. It has what I call the Volkswagen headlights that are mounted in the fender, very much like the Volkswagens were in the early days. I added the fog lights. The only reason those fog lights are there basically is not because of fog. It's basically to let somebody know I'm coming. I don't want to be over in my lane, or it's a safety feature that I put on.
Yeah, walk us around the rear of the car.
Well, the rear is basically stock. What you see back here basically is the stock body. It has the little teardrop taillights that a lot of people use on as a feature on hot rods, but looking at it from where you are now, it's basically dead stock. There is one exception, and I put a feature of a third tail light and brake light on here, just so when I'm stopping it flashes and it lets somebody behind me know that I'm stopping. It would be a horrible disaster to get hit on the back end of one of these things. It just a lot of metal, and be a lot of trouble getting that back as straight as it is.
Can we look in the interior?
Yeah, let me pull this out of here. Let me turn that. The interior is pretty much as it was original. Of course, modern upholstery on it. That's a 1940 Ford steering wheel as opposed to a 1939. The air conditioning is vintage air and is nicely tucked up underneath the dash. It's got the old style handbrake, squeeze the handle and pull on it, that was used back in the day. The wood, what appears to be wood, is wood graining as it's called, and it's not a decal, it's actually done by hand. Pretty intricate process. Probably about a dozen guys in the country really know how to do it first class, and this is done very, very well.
Awesome. Headliner up here. Yeah, the upholstery is really, really clean.
Yep. It really is. It's very well done.
new on the 32?
No, not really. It's just the way I've been driving it probably 2 days out of the week just to put time on it. I need to definitely spend some time on the motor and adjust the valves and tune the carburetors. Those Strombergs have really been a tripwire for me. I'm familiar with everything in the world from fuel injection down to Briggs and Stratton tilts and carburetor, but those have driven me nuts. And I don't know whether it's a cam or, the combination of everything we did to the motor. It just they've given me a fit. Plus, I've got an automatic in it. I've got a 204R in it, and that tends to want to push the car when you come to a stop with the load up of the torque converter, and I don't have any stall speed in the torque converter. It's perfectly stock. But I'm going to get back on it. The weather's breaking. We've had really good weather, and I can take it and drive it and play with it. And I drove it this morning. In fact, I won't take it home today, but I love my 39 so much I drive a lot of it. I hate to say that.
Don't say that in front of the 32, right?
Yeah. Well, and like this afternoon, the wife and I will go do something, and she likes this car. We might drive down to Kiowa and have lunch, or go up to McClellanville. But it rides so nice. You get spoiled. I mean, a hot rod, you can talk to all these guys and they'll brag about how smooth they are. A real hot rod, old school hot rod, they're not quite like riding on a basketball, but they're darn close. Plus, I will make a change, and I'm looking for it now. I put the bucket seats in it, had them done in natural leather, and if I go back, this 39 rides so nice with its original bench seat. I'm going to go back and get a 32 bench seat and put in it, because that'll make a big difference. That'll cushion some of the harshness of the ride. But I've met my dream. Got my 32 I wanted, just the way I wanted, and I've lusted for a 39 Deluxe for 30 years, and I ended up giving up the Healy for it. Just the artwork in making the pieces and the parts. Hey guys, glad you all could come by and see what the last two hurrahs in the garage are. We just, we're wrapping it up, and we got little stuff to tinker with, and it'll be drive and enjoy the weather and do some traveling. And come back sometime and we may have something else, but right now this is it.